The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1923, is based on Victor Hugo's 1831 novel, starring Lon Chaney, directed by Wallace Worsley, and produced by Laemmle and Irving Thalberg. It was Universal's most successful silent film, grossing $6.8 million, all figures inflation adjusted for 2026. The film elevated Chaney, who was already a well-known character actor, to full star status in Hollywood, and also helped to set a standard for later horror films. Universal set out to create the Notre Dame Cathedral and the surrounding streets to the exacting specifications of the period. Their craftsmen created the, quote, Gallery of Kings, 35 statues, each 10 feet high, with intended likenesses of the originals. The construction of these sets took over 6 months to complete. Shooting the Parisian underworld scene required a cast of several hundred extras. They needed 3,000 costumes for extras overall. It took 6 weeks for the Universal Costume Department to complete the task. Film Daily reported director Worsley had traded in his megaphone for a radio and loudspeaker to direct the large crowd of extras for these scenes. Radio Digest stated that it was a $137,000 radio and loudspeaker setup. The film wound up costing $2.4 million to produce. It was the most expensive Lon Chaney film ever made. He was paid $50,000 a week salary. The Hunchback of Notre Dame was remade 16 years later in 1939 by RKO, starring Charles Laughton and introducing Maureen O'Hara. It is also noted as being the only film shown at the newly established Cannes Film Festival. The rest of the festival was canceled due to the start of World War II. With a budget of $43 million, Hunchback was one of the most expensive movies ever made by the RKO studio. It was shot at their Encino Ranch, with the interiors of the bell tower being shot at the Mudd Hall of Philosophy at the University of Southern California. The sets of Paris and the Notre Dame Cathedral were constructed at a cost of $6 million. Filming proved to be difficult for the cast and crew due to hot temperatures, particularly for Laughton, who had to act with a lot of makeup. Maureen O'Hara recalls one day arriving on the set and finding chimpanzees, baboons, and gorillas. Director Dieterle wanted monks to be on the set, but his assistant mistakenly thought he wanted monkeys because of his poor English and thick German accent. Another emotional incident was the filming of the scene where Quasimodo rings the bells in the tower of the cathedral for Esmeralda. Feeling in pain because his native Britain had declared war on Germany, Laughton rang the bells over and over again until he fell down from exhaustion, overwhelming the crew with emotion.